Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? Yeah, I didn't have a live stream last night because I'm really busy now. Anyway, tonight we're going to talk about, tonight's live stream is going to be about solving some problems so other crimes can get away with, the excuse that these mega Republicans are using to excuse Trump for what he's doing with the E-list, okay? And I ran into one of them today. We agreed on everything except that. And boy, when they put their heels in the ground, they put their heels in the ground. So that's why I thought I would talk about it. But anyway. Well, people are coming in, and the replay crew can watch this for a couple minutes. I heard a stat that 23% of Gen Zers are wishing they had never gone to college. Really? Boy, it's a bad time to realize that when you're 6 figures in debt, living in your parents' basement, can't get a job. I guess the government can't take nothing from you because you don't own anything. But yeah. But don't worry. You 23%, the colleges love you because that's the money they help put up the sports stadiums and stuff. Using all that money for having fun with. It's great. What happened to the days of college where you were able to work your way through it? You struggled, but you could afford it. And you got an education that meant something, and you just cherished it more. And you didn't have to go in debt to do it. Maybe a little, but I can't even imagine what the interest rate is on an unsecured loan like that. Because non-secured loan. I guess the security is that the person you're loaning the money to is going to get a job when they get out of school. That's going to be enough to pay the student pay. I mean, look at being 6 figures in debt when you get out of college at 22. How are you supposed to start a family? Buy a house, get a car, start living the American dream when you're 100,000 plus in debt before you even get to start in the adult world? Your first job is the adult world? I'm just glad I didn't start out that way. But yeah, now the college, Gen Z or college people are saying, hey, some of this might have been a mistake, okay? College is just another money-making thing. And as a money-making thing, you need to sit there and sell your product, which is your college, to people that want college, okay? Anyway, it's predatory lending too. It's a bunch of crap. And, now the Gen Zers are finding out, okay? All their political science degrees aren't doing them so well. But anyway, we got some people in the, in the chat here, so let's get on with the subject. Solving some problems, but allowing other crimes to continue on. And this is the excuse for these mega Republicans, okay? Now, I'm a constitutional conservative. But when I run into these people and I bring up, things that I think should be done, like the E-list needs, not released, these people need to start getting arrested. And the first thing they start bringing up is, well, Trump said this all needs to go away because we got bigger problems to solve. Really? I mean, maybe they need to take some sheriff's departments to D.C. because these sheriff's departments and police departments, they don't have a problem arresting the average guy when they break the law. No problem at all for them. But for some reason, it's just too much of a hassle, even to worry about. Because we have all these other big problems, but the crime of the century, or the millennial, you might even say, is being allowed to go on because we just don't have time. They're too big to fail, too big to jail. How can it be so complicated if you got the evidence to arrest these extremely bad people? But like I say, you run into a mega person that supports it, right away. They bring it, well, he's securing the borders. That's his job. I mean, I'm not going to hoorah somebody because they did their job, what is required to do them by the Constitution. And one of the things he needs to sit there and make sure all the children in this country are safe, which is doesn't seem to be on his top priority list of things to do. Just like saying this little live stream I have today, I mean, how many children do you think in the world will be abducted in this half hour and thrown into vans and sold into sex slavery and stuff? Gavin Windows, hello, how's it going? Gavin Windows, hey, how's it going? But how many children are going to be taken? Well, the illegals is a problem. But you're telling me it's easier to take care of all the illegals in this country than it is to go around and arrest a few thousand people that are on this E-list? Just in this country. Okay, let the other countries arrest them people. Expose them. But that's harder to do? I mean, that's just beyond your capability. I'm so sick of this mega. Like I say, I'm a conservative. But to listen to a Republican sit there and excuse Trump for this. I mean, he ran on this. None, hello. Good, how about you? I'm doing good tonight. I'm doing good. Yeah, the thing is, right, YouTube's really clamping down on me, so I had to sit there. I'm trying to get monetized, and my money was running out, right? So I had to sit there and go back to the trees. I was a cowboy, but somehow I got suckered into start bidding tree jobs and stuff, and now I'm doing that. And yeah, the money's great, but I'd rather sit there. I don't care to get the word out. But anyway, this is what I was talking to a lady I did a bid with today. And staunch Republican, staunch conservative, up until the Epstein list. We need to worry about other things in this country besides that, like Trump said. What if you're a parent of a child that disappeared out of the blue, walking home from school or whatever, and never was seen or heard from again, never found a body? You think it's not, see, this is the thing. When that list comes out, they're not going to build a prison strong enough to protect them. Because, like I say, all these people, hundreds of thousands of children that disappeared, when those names, it's not only the client list, it's the victim list. When that comes out, victims that didn't make it through the process to grow up and expose them, the ones that might have got sacrificed. What do you think the parents are going to do when their child comes up on that list to the sons of bitch that did it? You ain't going to be able to keep these people safe. There will be vigilante justice. But we'll be in the dark ages anyway, because all the governments are going to collapse. All the monarchies are going to collapse. People are going to say, "Woo!" to anybody who thinks they got authority over us. But anyway, yeah, that's a Republican deal. Well, Trump's fixing some problem, man. He's doing this. We just, we need to drop this Epstein thing. Like I say, he was in office. He got arrested in 2019. Bill Barr was Attorney General, so they had all the evidence for a year and a half while Trump was in his other term. And they never looked at it. He didn't have any idea what was in it, so he can make these campaign promises that he's going to expose the E-list, and then it doesn't exist. This is how short-term memory people have. Yeah, Epstein was arrested during Trump's administration. They had all the information for his first term. Just like this Obama thing, right? Going after Obama. They had all that evidence on the first term. They did nothing about it. I mean, instead of coming to the American people like he is now with the truth about what happened in 2016, even though he won got the presidency, he did nothing about it. I mean, he sat there and did with the Russia collusion, did nothing about it, never came to the American people and said, hey, this is the truth. Nope, but now Now, what? See, well, with the Hillary thing, with the Obama thing, you're talking 9 years later? 9 years later, and it's important? Well, that's going back a little bit. Maybe we should have solved the problem when we knew he wasn't a citizen of the United States. By the way, yep, he's solving some problem. And then focusing on Obama and stuff. You can sit there and shine the light on any politician in D.C. and just see a bunch of bad shit everywhere. It don't matter who you shine it on, okay? But they sure, whatever. And they're doing it to Obama, too. It's not like Obama's going to fall on his sword and take it for the Democratic Party. No, they're shining on somebody that can never be arrested. Anyway. But these mega Republicans that are okay with this, well, I hope it never comes to a time where your child needs justice or your child disappears, okay? And then you're okay with this because you're facilitating it. Facilitating a lie. Remember, that's what we hate about Democrats so much. They always lie when actually they're the only ones on the political, when they're on the running for office, they're not lying. They say crazy shit, but they're not lying. When they say they're coming for our guns, they're not lying. Trump says he's for Second Amendment, but this for the shit that the ATF does. What was that one with the, not trigger lock, but the trigger deal, okay? Bump stocks. Really? See, the Democrats will flat out come out and say, this is what we're going to do. The Democrats does but lying pieces of shit now. There ain't one Republican in Washington, D.C. that supports gun rights. There isn't one that supports the Second Amendment. Because they do not know what the phrase shall not be infringed means. Okay? They don't understand that a well-regulated militia is trained individuals. Now, let me tell you something. We do got a well-regulated militia in this country right now that contains millions and millions and millions of people called vets from the Marine Corps, like me, or the Army, or the Navy, or the Air Force, or probably now Space Force. We got our well-regulated militia. And remember, what am I? Oh, a domestic extremist. Anyway. I just, okay. The poor might need to join hands with other poor from the left if there is ever to tackle accountability. This thing. Trump caused the Democrats to just take over Congress in a year and a half. And we just lost the presidency in 3.5 years, okay? Because Republicans are not going to come out and vote if all we're going to get is a lying-ass Democrat for our candidate. And this is the thing. There's Democrats that want these people punished and held accountable. There's independents. And there's a hell of a lot of conservatives. But we get, hey, he's closing the borders. Yeah, but he's still spending money like a drunken sailor. I like that short I did. If money is the root of all evil, and this country's $37 trillion plus in debt, that means the roots of evil in this country run awful deep. Laura, watch. Hi, how's it going? Appreciate you being here. You know, this channel never asks for money or sell anything or ask for donations, but if you want to help support the channel, a thumbs up, subscribe, and bell notification would be perfect because, like I say, I sit there and been working on YouTube to try to get monetized for the last 2 years, and all they do was fight me, and I sit there and get suckered into bidding one tree job, and all of a sudden I'm getting thousands of dollars thrown at me. When I'd rather just be a little guy on YouTube and get my message across. But they just can the channel so bad. Because you know why? And like I say, they're all in cahoots with each other. You get on here and talk about the E-list and how Trump's not doing his job and stuff, you get canned just like you were talking bad about Biden when Biden was in office. It's all one big club, buddy, George Carlin said, and we don't belong to it. To change this country isn't going to come from the top down. We ain't gonna have the rich people in this country like they did during the Revolutionary War, before the Revolutionary War, that had to suffer under the tyranny of the king. Okay, it's not going to be a revolution. I mean, we ain't gonna have any rich people. And I'm sorry, Donald Trump isn't one of them. It's going to be from the grassroots down, from the cowboy, the guy who builds the roads, the guy who sits there and builds houses, or the women. I'll put women into that too. I've seen many women working on carpenters and working on roads, that type of stuff. One's raising children and saying, we've had enough. That's where it's going to come from. We just need our leader, who's going to be vetted a lot better than the crap that's vetted in Washington. I'm not giving Donald Trump a free pass. He was the best candidate for the country at the time, for what he was saying. But obviously he doesn't have the American people or our country's best interests in mind. I mean, people, this is our home. This is our home. A home that stretches from sea to sea, ocean to ocean, with lots of stuff to see in between. Like where I'm at, waves of amber grain. And we're just allowing this. Would you allow this in your own home? I mean, I know you wouldn't allow somebody to just snatch your kids and let them go into sex slavery. That's obvious. But, as a mega Republican, it's okay if it's somebody else's kid, because as long as my bank account's okay. Oh, my. Hey, Amanda, how's it going? Hey, I'll get those shorts. I got your message, your medium. Oh, that was J99. Amanda, I need to know what your shirt size is, because I'm going to get those shirts ordered next week. If you want to email me, that'd be best at Reagan Marine 1986 at gmail.com. Reagan Marine 1986 at gmail.com. And you sit there and email me just your shirt size, and when I get them ordered, then you can email me your address. And of course, when I send you the stuff, you'll have my address and my full name. So Carol's been very, very quiet. So anyway, Reagan Marine 1980, R-E-J, Reagan, R-E, it's Reagan, R-E-A-G-E-N, isn't it? After Ronald Reagan. A Ronald Reagan Marine. So, yeah, that. So, R-E-A-G-A-N, I think, is Reagan. Yeah, R-E-A-G-A-N. Reagan Marine. So, anyway, yeah, about 1986. That's the year I went to boot camp. I enlisted 9 months before that, but anyway. But, yeah. And this is the thing, I would love to make money on YouTube, just at money so I could sit there and do YouTube all the time. Like I said, I got so many projects I love to do on YouTube, but if I'm working 10 hours a day, yeah, the money's good, but I don't know. I guess I'm in a deal where I can't follow my dream right now. I got to financially support it. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm not putting out a lot of content. It's not like I'm pulling my phone out while I'm taking trees down and stuff like that. I mean, I got a chainsaw in my hand, or I'm in a bucket or something like that, I'm always busy. So it's not like I'm out there fencing and I got time to pull on my phone and, hey, look at where I'm at and stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, I'll get that. And I tell you what, YouTube, a lot of people don't realize, like I say, when I talk about subjects like this, how much YouTube messes with creators. Just from your downloading procedures, putting a video up on YouTube and the games they play, swapping your screen. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if I ever get set up to where I can videotape what we go through just to put video content on sometimes, it's crazy. But I guarantee you that people they agree with, they don't have problems, okay? Just like my live streams have gone to nothing because YouTube will not allow this channel to grow. But you know what? I can financially support the channel with money now. Now it's just the time. But anyway, whatever comes through, we will do it. What do you think about think of Canada? What? You guys need to pick up your guns and take your frickin' country back before the government completely takes them all away. All I know is the truckers tried and nobody stood behind them. That would have been a good time for the people to rise up and rebel and take their country back, led by the truckers. Anyway, that's how I feel. Just like in America, it ain't no damn difference. I tell you what, when I was in Canada, to be honest with you, when I was out beyond Washington, right? Oh, believe me, we went up to Vancouver and partied at night. I mean, we got off of work, and we go up to Vancouver to sit there and go party at the bars and still drive back to base that night. That's when you could just cross the border with an ID. You have to pull out your military ID. They didn't mess with you at all. But I mean, got that green ID card, I could go anywhere. But yeah, we used to have some fun up there, eh? Eh? America is going to crap. Yep, it's going to the shitter. But see, people like me want to solve it. We just need our leader. Sick of the lies. I'm sick of people not being held accountable. And I can't even go without wearing my seatbelt because I'll get pulled over. But see, they're just fleecing the American citizen more and more to try to control us. Amanda, did you see my short or my video I put on about look at the video I just uploaded about an hour ago. It's from the Tom Sawyer with Jodie Foster. Remember the Tom Sawyer with the redheaded kid? I can't remember his name. Curly hair. When Jodie Foster was like, I don't know, 10 years old or 11 years old. There's a Reader's Digest. Tom Sawyer was a musical. Anyway, I got a part in there. And believe me, if people want to see more clips of that, I'll put more clips of that. But that was a cool-ass movie. But you need to check that out. Okay, back when America, yeah, it was cool. Have you ever seen that Reader's Digest, Tom Sawyer? Oh, you see Jodie Foster. Oh my God, this was before her Walt Disney years. Okay, this might have been the first movie she ever did. I don't know, but it was the kid from Family Affair. That kid stuff. But yeah, this little 2-minute thing, sending a message to the higher ups. Maybe they'll understand because I'll sit in that chair any day. You know, when you get our age, it's no longer about us anymore. When you have kids and grandkids, it's no longer about us anymore. It's about making sure they get to inherit at least part, the better world that we had. You know how much work we got to get just to that point? How much work we just have to get to the point it had when I was growing up? But anyway, I want my kids to grow up free. I want mental illness in this country to be treated and not encouraged. I want all these wars to end. I want it to be where we didn't worry It was safer. I mean, like I say, with this E-list, right? When we were growing up, before the E monster was going crazy, we could all play outside, have a good time, come back when it gets dark, right? Out in the country, it didn't matter. We stayed out to all hours of the night. Dark time was just another time to play. By the time you came home when the lights came on, nobody got kidnapped. Nowadays, kids can't even do that because it's too freaking dangerous. Why? Because we got sick, perverted bastards that are in charge, and now somebody just ain't going to do nothing about it. I guess Columbus wants to join the video. Here's my Columbus. That's my protector. That's my first. Well, my first layer of security is distance. My second layer of security is him. So, I mean, I'm not messing around with him. This has gone beyond bonkers. Okay? If they don't want to hear the truth, you're not allowed to say the truth, or you get ridiculed for saying the truth. And then you sit there on this, you like content creators, it's got to go through a computer algorithm before anybody's even allowed to see it in the first place. Yeah. Trump wants to talk about he's in between the elites and us and they want him, right? What's in between me and my constitutional rights? Oh, that would be a computer algorithm. And people are just okay with that. When they can silence people like me that won't shut up, the people that are submissive and won't say anything or stand up for themselves are going to be just walked right over. Preach, dude. You do right. I don't know. I'm just a Marine that's had enough. I'm a Marine that saw the world. There's all the bad shit in it. And it's coming here. And everybody just wants to put blinders on. It doesn't matter. My bank account's okay. Where money becomes more important than kids being abducted off the street. I can't even think that low. It's a green piece of paper that is worthless, people. It's worthless. The only reason we think it's worth something is because people will still exchange goods and services for it. But when the world realizes that the dollar is shit, 37 trillion plus in debt, and then they can't figure out the bad stuff that's going to happen because of that. This is the thing, people. When it comes time to fixing this, everybody's going to suffer. Everybody. Okay? And you just better be prepared to suffer. If you're in a lot of debt, you're going to suffer worse. People that are debt-free, well, we're not going to suffer. People that are preppers and debt-free, they ain't going to be teased no more, you might say. Useless, you have no money already. Time is currency, I think. Useless, you have no money already. Yeah, well, I don't exactly know what that means. So, yeah, the money's useless. I mean, I would start, if you can exchange it for learning a skill that you can make money off of, or spend it on something that will be worthwhile in the future when we don't have our conveniences. Are you saying I'm useless? Wow, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. One thing you should know, Tom, I strive to be a poor, humble man. You can't throw a green piece of paper in my face and get me going, jump, jump, jump. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. Can't be tempted with drugs, women, or money. Boy, I'm just weird, aren't I? Anyway, He said, useless, you have no money. Yeah, I don't care. If being poor is a crime, well, then I guess I'm a criminal. Well, if I can get to it right now, I got it. I know. People would be like, God, you're making all this money now? Yeah, I hate fucking money. Because you know how much I'm paying in taxes every fucking day? More than I used to make a day. You know, money is a necessary evil in today's world. And I partake in as least of it as possible. Okay? Not like I want to be a big channel on social media. I want to be enough so I can bring quality content and put it back into the channel. So I can get the message across. So I can get people to realize, hey, we're all on the Titanic together. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is, ship's going down, and they all want to sink you in it. I mean, I'm sorry, what Democratic politician cares about a Democrat? Name one. What Republican politician cares about Republicans? Name one. Name one. And I'll even go further. Which politician cares about anybody with children? Name one. I tell you what, I ain't grabbing a life raft. Fuck that. I'm. If the average person knew how much anxiety that us vets are feeling right now, not being able to sit there and do something we got trained and experienced to do, something we took an oath to do. The anger you feel, they talk about being tolerant, microaggression, Jesus Christ. We're major aggression. They don't care. Anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to knuckle under these people. Like, I'm not afraid of the devil. Why the hell would I be afraid of the ATF or FBI? Excuse me? It seems like if I'm not scared of the devil, why would I be scared of another human being? Doesn't make no sense to me. I don't think anything will help us except each other. Well, I know it's not coming out of Washington. And we all, like you say, we all need to bond together. We could end this without violence if all Americans got together and went to the government and say, we don't care anymore, you're not going to divide us no more, we're all American citizens, and you guys either shape up, or 300 million of us is going to, 300 some million of us is going to put an end to this shit. See, when the people show the government we have the power, they will serve the people again. That's how it works. But right now, the people are sheeple, and even I'm told that I'm supposed to, shh, better watch out. They may come get you. Better watch out. The big bad wolf may come after you. Who gives a shit? That would just show that I was right about everything. I do. What's supposed to scare me, Paul? I'm a combat Marine. Believe me, I know how to defend myself in more than one way. Okay? This is the shit you get. Somebody don't even know me. I would never go threaten somebody that I didn't know their skills. Ever. You better go watch some of my shorts, buddy. Might change your mind. A little tougher than you look. Another liberal that never left mommy's basement. What does that mean? You beat off all the time? Or is that some martial art I haven't heard about? Okay. This is the shit, Amanda. I mean, I don't sit there and go on YouTube and tell everybody what I'm able to do physically. Are you nuts? I figure I say I'm a combat Marine. That should wake up your average dumbass. I mean, I actually met somebody that made money as a gamer on social media. And he actually had somebody come to his house and shoot at him because he canceled him from his channel. I could only wish some piece of shit liberal or somebody gets on my live stream would come to my door and threaten me. I could only wish that could happen. But don't worry, YouTube. Yeah, Amanda, you had to go cancel it. But not YouTube. Their moderators can't see that. I'm sick of these little beta males threatening my ass. That's one thing with YouTube. I can go out there, do my trees, and make thousands of dollars a month and not have to worry about this shit. But you know what? The message that needs to get out is so important that I will take the time. Believe me, you, Amanda, J99, Carol, Impeach, everybody. How many disciples did Jesus have? 12. Made a world of difference, didn't they? Just saying. But yeah, I don't have to sit there and take this abuse on this shit, on this channel. But I do. And I took a lot of abuse when I was in the Marine Corps for the civilians that don't give a shit no more. But see, in the Marine Corps, I was allowed to do something about it. Okay? But not here. Nope. But no, I'm not going to give up, Amanda. Like I say, YouTube wants to cut me down as bad as they can. Want me to just give up. But you know what? My channel's still growing. I'm in the slow lane again. First week in July, I was in hyperspace. Woo! Now they got me on the interstate doing 3 miles an hour along the shoulder. Whatever, YouTube. I'm sure there's nothing to hide there. See, this is the thing. When this all goes down, all these social media execs and everybody had, even the lonely little piece of shit YouTube worker that had any part of violating people's constitutional rights will be held responsible. Not just the E-list, but all of these guys that have violated all of our rights will be held responsible. I mean, if these bigwigs don't think they can end up in a cell facing their punishment, I'm sure Goering thought that at one time. I'm sure Ribbentrop thought that at one time. I'm sure Keitel and Jodl and Hess all thought that. Von Schirach. You name it. I'm sure they all thought the same thing. What happened? Didn't work out for them, did it? The trouble is, we ain't going to have the government, the armies of these great nations to come and save the world this time. It's up to average person in every country. When this all goes down, the whole world's going up. All these people that are pissed off at these countries all over the world, it's going to be a domino effect. Just a domino effect. I mean, if they would release the E-list, which they will never do, I mean, I made a video about that 4 months ago, it would send it into like I say, we'll go in the dark ages for a while. There's going to be power vacuums. There's going to be vigilante justice on these people. Okay? But justice will be served. But, you know, they got this mentality that they can't be touched now. They got us so snowed. I'm not afraid to do the right thing or express the truth, no matter who it hurts. Okay? I'm just an average guy that has had enough. I've had enough of the elites thinking they can dictate and direct our lives. Need to know everything about us. All these appliances, everything, spying on, big thing, having a bug in the house back when I was growing up. Oh, that was just a terrible thing. Now we got everything listening to us and watching us as we're walking through our house. And everybody's just okay with that. But I guess since it's the government, the government's not doing it because they're not allowed to. So they have companies that make TVs and lamps and refrigerators do it, and then they share that information with the government. And then you got people at TikTok that just, basically give the Chinese more intelligence than they need. It's already happening all over the world. Protesters are getting more violent. Crimes are entering illegal act. Criminals are entering illegal act. Sorry. I'm waiting for the big man from upstairs to come down. This is the thing. I'm going to get a little religious here. What was the population of the earth when Jesus was on here? 50 to 100 million people, about that. That was about the population when Jesus was here. 50 to 100 million people. Let's see. We have 8.5 billion now. Do you see a problem? Okay, the Jews think he's going to come as like Netanyahu with the sword. A warrior for the Jews. Some people probably think he's going to come as a rich businessman. No, you know how he's going to come? He can come on that poor guy that has nothing, but wants to do something to help you out and take nothing in return. I mean, I do not remember anywhere in the Bible where it said Jesus got paid for what he did. Anybody remember that? Anyway, this first job I'm working on now, it's a minister I'm working for. I'll tell you what, I'm talking his ear off. Life is like an immigrant. I don't know what you mean by that. But anyway. Oh, hey, Patty, how's it going? But anyway, it's just, times are going to get tough. I don't know if you checked out my video on my Lone Wolf Prepper List channel I put out tonight. I finally put out a video on that channel. But what happens if we don't get SHTF and we get the status quo every day from now on that just keeps getting worse and worse? What if we never get that point where people want to fix the problem? And we prepping in 1984, when prepping's illegal. Jesus was a poor immigrant. Why you gotta say immigrant? I mean, he wasn't. Jesus was. I'm not going to get immigrant, whatever. You want to sit there and pull modern political subjects into what Jesus was? What a bunch of shit. Sorry, Patty, but I just think it's not right. Whoa. Jesus was an immigrant to what? To what? To what? He lived around where he's born. Immigrant to what? Immigrant to the Roman Empire? Is that what he was? Oh, because immigrants are being prosecuted. No, this is the thing. Illegal immigrants, they're not legal. They're not being persecuted. They're being sent back home. They're being persecuted by their governments. That means they should go and do what the United States did, have a revolution, take the fucking country back. I don't go for immigrants. They're illegals. And anybody's got a problem with the frickin' law? I'm sorry. I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And somebody who enters this country illegally is a foreign enemy. Did I get that message across? You don't want to be persecuted? What? Okay. Me as an American, if I don't want to be persecuted or prosecuted, what do? I don't break the law, right? That goes for illegals in this country too, not just law-abiding citizens. Anyway, you work in law, okay. Explain to me how somebody who comes over the border illegally is a legal citizen. Tell me how one of them... Okay, you're in law. Explain to me how two Hondurans who are 20 years old and can't legally own a gun can shoot a bald eagle in a natural preserve, get caught, not get arrested. All the residents in the county were in an uproar. But you know why you couldn't do nothing? Because the feds wouldn't prosecute them. But if I go through the pasture and I see a mummified eagle and I pull a feather off that bird, I get 25 years in prison. Explain that to me, Mrs. Law Person. Explain it to me. You know, we got laws in this country. We are a land of laws. That's what the Constitution's about. But we turned into a land of men. That's what democracy is about. Okay? Understand? See the difference? And I'm not even in law. The Constitution was not written, so you had to go to law school to figure it out. People go to law school to corrupt the Constitution. Okay? I can read it. I can read the Declaration of Independence. I can read the Bill of Rights and know exactly what it means. And I didn't have to go to school. Let's see. Lincoln didn't go to school to be a lawyer either. Anyway. No, if you get through the legal process, they aren't illegal. Right. But they're not being persecuted either. Who the fuck is saying that shit? You know who's being persecuted? The heterosexual Christian white guy. That's who's being persecuted in this country. Okay? We don't get special rights. We don't get social services. Because we're not victims. Remember? We're the ones causing all the problems. Land of laws, people, not a land of men. Like you say, we got our Constitutional Republic, but we can usher in a democracy. I'm not that smart. I'm not that stupid either. Okay? I mean, I'm not always well in school. We've got our own shit like that. But, you know, it comes to where these were common sense things that they put in the Constitution. And all they do is these lawyers come out and try to sit there, use 1,000 words to sit there and confuse you about common sense. Tell Trump to adhere to the law then. Yeah, go to some of my videos. And this is another thing. I just got a question, Patty. I'm going to say it calmly. What would have made you think? I mean, if you would have watched this whole video, I've been slamming Trump the whole freaking time for allowing crimes to go on. I am a constitutional conservative. So tell me, being a constitutional conservative and a Marine and a hardworking individual, what party do you think I support? Neither goddamn one. But the thing is, Trump was the better of two evils. Lesser of two evils. I'm not voting for that shit no more. At least if we had Kamala Harris, the Republicans probably would have, the conservatives probably would have uprose by now. But no, we got lulled. Maybe that's why they did put Trump in there, to lull all those patriots and vets into not acting. Is that why they did it? I respectfully disagree. Well, that's fine. That's fine. And I'd like to tell you, Patty, maybe this is something you don't know, that the Constitution was only ratified, passed by 2 votes. And the next day, all the people that voted against it were doing everything they could to undermine it. In the last 249 years, this is how far they succeeded. Just a little thought for you, okay? Anyway, because lots of people didn't like the Constitution. They wanted just what we got now. The greatest thing on earth. Trump is a shepherd, keeping the sheep in line. Well, you ain't keeping my ass in line. Yeah, like I tell you. Patrick, I'm a conservative, Constitution conservative. I was doing a bid for a Trump supporter today. We were talking, agreeing on everything, until I brought up the E-list. Then it was, oh, he's doing all this other stuff. Like he said, we should just forget about that. Well, I wasn't going to go no further with it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of when Democrats do it. I'm tired of Republicans do it. I don't give a shit no more. Wings of the same bird, people. Trump is spending money just like Biden. He's just spending it on stuff that Republicans want. This is one thing you people need to realize. The only reason the political parties like the presidency is because they get to determine how the money's spent for the next 4 years. That's it. Okay? And then you got your minions behind them that do all this stuff fucking with our lives. Shepard has you put his mark on your forehead. Maybe God is testing to see if you will follow the false. Okay, Patty. I live a poor, humble life. Just happen to be in a position right now where, anyway, I live a poor, humble life. That's what I want to live. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. I cannot be tempted by alcohol, drugs, women, or money. Simple man with simple pleasures. Can't be tempted. I'm a little unusual in today's world. Yep. So exactly, they're testing me how? See, I work for God. He's already tested me. Got it? Some of us have our own little purpose in the world, and some of us are just still figuring it out, aren't you? Is the truth, is billionaires our enemy, not each other? The shepherd. You telling me billionaires? You telling me there's no good billionaires? There's good billionaires. Good, honest, hard-working billionaires made it up their whole life. Simple men. They're the ones that are really rich, but they don't live like they're really rich. Then you got the assholes. Okay? You want to group people together? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just group the whole human race together as a bunch of imbeciles and end the whole fucking human race? I mean, we want to point fingers. It all starts at the human race, doesn't it? Anyway, I appreciate you being here, Patty. You're keeping me on my toes. This is what I like, being able to have a conversation. Maybe I need to tone it down a little bit. But there are some subjects that I've had enough of, okay? And this, another thing, Patty, with these illegals and the amnesty for the farm workers and the hotel and the cooks and stuff is bullshit, okay? Why am I doing trees right now? Because there's too much competition in agriculture from illegals and legal visa workers here. Too much competition because these employers would rather hire them because they're incentive to hire them because they get some of their money back from the government. Oh, some of their, they get tax money back for hiring them. Yeah. But whatever. Instead of making $200 a day, I guess I'll just have to accept making $1,000 a day, but whatever. Whatever. Someday I'll get back to my poor, humble life. Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, none of the pleasures of the flesh sway me at all. Okay? There are work visas for them. Yeah, I know, but I work with them, South Africans and stuff. I've worked with a lot of them. Okay, and I'm not saying they ain't nice people. But, 7 years ago, we weren't competing with jobs with them. Now we're competing with jobs. And Trump wants to bring more of them. And then he's going to give amnesty to the ones that are here illegally working on the farm. No, this is what you do. If some employers got illegals working for them, well, guess what? The employer's breaking the law too, right? Get rid of their jobs where they can't get jobs up here or handouts from the government. That'll cure the illegal immigration problem right there. If the only thing they're able to do is come up here and be a boxcar Willie and ride the boxcar and the trains, they won't come up here. Oh, that would mean all we have to do is follow the law, right? Right? Make sure Trump follows the law. How about employers? How about the illegals that want to come in here illegally? How about they decide, you know what? I'm not going to break the law. We aren't they busting the employers. My company's complies. I know. They should be. I mean, in Omaha, where my brother lives by Omaha, when they raided those packing plants, he said they didn't shut down. The next day they were full up with employees of Americans that needed jobs. Holy shit! Maybe everybody doesn't want to be on the government titty, but because of the government policies, that's just the way everybody ends up. Yeah, they've cleaned out hundreds of people, and the next day they're running full staff. I thought Americans didn't want those jobs. Hopefully Americans finally get to the point where they're sick of, the government telling them how they can live. Like I say, when you let the welfare office in your house, it's like letting Dracula in your house. You never can get rid of them, and they have permission to come in anytime they want. So, anyway, yeah, the money guys don't want the heat. Anyway, like I say, put Americans to work. If the tomatoes need to be picked, there's an American that'll do it. Why not? Don't listen to the politicians saying we don't got people that'll work in the fields, okay? Jasmine Crockett now ain't gonna pick cotton. She wouldn't have to. They got combines, you stupid bitch. But anyway, this is the world we live in. Okay? Until things are how they should be. Yeah. Hey, Viking man. Does anyone think Trump is Antichrist? No. I'll tell you who I thought. No, he's not. Okay. I mean, yeah, he could sit there and start World War III and end the world. Well, any president we had could have died. Antichrist went to pissed off 3/4 of his base by saying there's no evilist. Okay. The problem is the farmers can't find Americans to work in the fields. Why not? I can. I can't find a job in agriculture right now because of dealing with foreigners. So I know that comment right there is bullshit. I feel, remember affirmative action? I remember when I was before I got out of the Marine Corps, I was testing, I was out at Washington State, and I was testing for police departments and sheriff's departments. And you took a written test and you took a physical test. And the thing about the physical test that pissed me off, it was pass or fail. Even though I always finished first, that was just pass or fail, okay? But the written test, okay, so if they had like 5 jobs open, that means the top 15 people that finished top on the test for 3 people for each position would get called in, okay? But if I, as a white man, finished number 1 on the test, I got put behind all the minorities, the women and stuff, so I really didn't finish first. Now, I believe that we should have affirmative action with this foreigners. If you have an American that applies for a job, they got to get hired first. They have to get hired first. What's wrong with that? That's protecting Americans, right? I'm in Nebraska, Patty. Okay, I've done farming and ranching. And I couldn't find a job, so I had to go up there. I started a little fencing business with fencing. And then fencing is pretty much only during the spring, because then the cows are on the pasture and the grass time. So I had to sit there and try to get a farm job, and so I got suckered into doing trees. Ton more money, but your pursuit of happiness is not about making money. It's about pursuing your happiness. And since my happiness is doing hard labor and being a humble, poor individual, obviously, you know, my goal to be rich, I don't, it's a green piece of freaking paper, okay? It just, whatever. That's the life I'm living now, so. I wish I could get monetized on YouTube. I wish my channel would grow to a point where Jeff Bezos had to start writing me a check. And I could sit there, I don't want to grow a lot, but, you know, enough to sit there and make ends meet and sit there and make this channel so people want to watch it, okay? Find it interesting, like I say. One day on YouTube, I will make people laugh. I will have something set up, some type of show that I will make people laugh. That's my goal on YouTube. Not be talking about all the stuff that gets me all riled up, but stuff that makes people laugh. Okay? So, yeah, I'm a little unusual. That's all right. Maybe I'll rub off on some of these people. Anyway, an hour and 3 minutes already. Well, everybody have a great night. Amanda, I hope you'll like that video I put on with the Tom Sawyer movie. And if you want to see more scenes of it, I can put on. But oh, remembering the good old days when Hollywood was actually good. Anyway, everybody have a great night. Appreciate you being here. And even YouTube appreciates you being here. So anyway, this is Tom with The Hidden Truths. Have a great night. I'm out of here.